The midweek rumble. Now, we're going to bring some new people in, OK, as well as Sid Ryan and David Menzies. They haven't been fired. They will be back, but some other voices. And so this week, Claire Hoy. Claire Hoy is an author and a broadcaster. He wrote the most successful book in the history of Canadian non-fiction. Sold 5 copies. No, he really did. And Marianne Meed Ward, she's a local councillor. She's run for Parliament. Politician, former columnist and magazine editor. And welcome to the two of you.
It's great to be here.
Great to have you here. Or is it? We'll see about that. Let's begin with the occupation, because, you know, it's very moving to see the real people of Canada and the US occupying the country to take it back from fascism, isn't it?
I should have brought my Kleenex, Michael. I didn't realize what we were... Yeah, well, to start with, I don't tent. Okay, I don't do tents. But
you're not camp?
No.
I'm sensing some sarcasm. Call me crazy, but
I mean, come on. To start with, the amount of coverage that these people are getting, as far as I'm concerned, is obscene given the size. I mean, as you know, there are rallies, like sort of pro-life rallies in Ottawa that get, you know, 5 or 10 times as many people as all these people combined are getting, and they basically get ignored.
But this
and
is
these
a global
Looney Tunes,
movement.
all global.
This is global. This isn't just one place.
This is complete nonsense.
This is people
want?
rising up against what they see as corporate greed, and it's a very important issue.
So we should close down business? No, we shouldn't. What should we do? Close down business, and then what? And everybody will live happily ever after?
No, we should go after people that don't pay taxes and that make money without the top earners, the investors, the people that brought us to the brink of this crash in the first place. Absolutely.
That was the Obama government, basically. But,
no, wow. Okay, so I will agree with you that Obama did nothing to stop this, and he catered to the wealthy people.
Let's talk about the wealthy people. The top 5% earners in this country pay almost 60% of all the income tax collected. So they are paying, you see.
Well, some are paying.
Well, most are.
Some are paying. And the issue that many people see is no matter...
Are they paying anything?
Well,
or they just want to leech off?
One at a time, but it seems to me, let's talk about the Canadian aspect of this, because there are some problems in the US and perhaps even in Europe. But here, if you don't earn much money, you don't pay any tax at all. You pay quite a lot of tax as you get higher and higher up. You're born in a hospital where you have all sorts of money or no money at all. You get the most wonderful care. You're fed. You're educated. You're taken care of. There's welfare. The economy is going very well. There are jobs. Believe me, your kids are too young. My 4 kids, and the 3 of them are of an age, they've all got job after job, minimum wage, but they're at university, which is massively publicly funded. What really is there to complain about in Canada?
Well, it's not about complaining. It's about asking people, it's about asking people to pay their fair share. And the wealthier you get, the more you can use tax shelters, tax credits, things that are all perfectly legal, but allow you to dodge. It's the middle class that has been declining in this country. Actually, technically, I'm upper middle class.
Yes, you are. So, do you not pay your taxes? Councillor Meed Ward, are you a tax dodger?
I pay a lot of taxes.
So do I.
I do pay a lot of taxes, and I like the services that I get. But the issue for a lot of people in the occupation is that no matter whether the economy does poorly or does well, there is a certain class of people that gets rich, gets phenomenally rich, and the gap between rich and poor is growing.
Even if that's true, though, why does it matter as long as people who aren't rich are also taken care of?
Because that's not necessarily what's happening. We have right in Burlington,
Burlington,
Ontario.
One of the wealthiest towns in North America.
And we have a 12-year waiting list if you are somebody who needs affordable housing. That is appalling. We have 3,000 people waiting. That's just one
So where are they? They're
example.
all living out on the street now?
They are living in cars. They are living in basements.
How many? How many are living in cars?
There are 3,300 people that are waiting
in one car.
That's a big car.
I'm impressed.
Let me tell you,
we have large SUVs out there.
The absolute phoniest number, and you just threw it out there, and they use it all the time, is this the gap between rich and the poor. It's totally meaningless.
No,
just a minute, and I'll tell you why it's totally meaningless. If I have $1 million and you have $10 million. Next year, if I have $2 million, I've doubled my income.
Yes.
You've gone up to $100 million. The gap is huge, but we're both still rich. So what does that tell you? It's totally meaningless. It's just
the gap between the poorest of people and the richest of people is growing.
So what?
That
it doesn't matter.
No, it does matter because you leave people behind.
Marianne, no, that's your question.
Behind what?
Look, people who do suffer, we have to help, and we have a system that may have flaws in it, but the system itself, I think, seems to work. But there's a certain irony, isn't there, that when you go down, I mean, it's very close to our studio, and we've all gone there to visit these people, and they're overwhelmingly white, almost exclusively white. Most of them have gone to universities, bad universities, but they have degrees from universities. A lot of them come from families that are moneyed. I don't see the poor and the black and the marginalised. There's a few homeless people there who you do feel for, but they just happen to be there. The rest of them, the usual suspects. 9/11 conspiracy, we want to smoke more drugs, give us more. That's not... You have a social conscience. They don't. They just have time on their hands.
And that's true. The truly disadvantaged people don't have time to protest.
No, they're working.
So, some of them are working. Some of them are struggling with drug and alcohol dependencies. Some of them are struggling with mental health issues. They're not there. However, the people that have the time to come and use their voice are trying to use it on their behalf, and that is acceptable. Yes, they are. They're not going to get a personal benefit out of this for protesting.
It gives them a definition, it gives them a meaning. Look, a lot of these people, you have the complete disappearance of religion and community, and they probably don't like their family much, and mummy and daddy were cruel to me, they should have given me more at Christmas and all that sort of thing. And so they're out there saying, I'm part of a happening. Have you seen them? The Bolshevik tendency. Who's a Bolshevik anymore?
You have to separate the issue and what they're saying from who's saying it. So let's not devolve into an ad hominem attack.
Okay, give me three things. Give me three things.
Are not our favorite people we'd invite home for tea with mummy. You know, they still may have a point.
My mummy's dead.
And what's their point?
Give me three demands of the occupation.
That the rich are getting richer.
So
that's not a demand. Give me three demands of the occupation. What do they want?
They haven't made a list of demands.
What do you think they're asking for?
Actually they're asking for some fairness in terms of how people are compensated. They're asking probably, or they will ask for increases in social services and supports and increased regulation. In Canada, and you mentioned this earlier, we are much further ahead on all of those fronts than the U.S. You're absolutely right. In the U.S., the situation is appalling.
It's appalling, is it?
It's appalling.
Claire, opposite where these hippies are camped out, there's a fast food restaurant where an immigrant family are in charge and they work very hard. There's a wonderful story, and I mentioned it in my monologue earlier, where the young man who was running it ran out of food because so many of them were going over to... They can't pack sandwiches, as I do every day. They go and buy fast food. And he ran out of food, and he put a sign up saying, back in 15 minutes, and they began screaming, cursing, swearing, banging on the window with their signs. Come on, we want the food now. Darling, you just can't get the service anymore at the demo. This is the bourgeoisie at play. They've got too much time on their hands.
To begin with, there's nothing wrong with the rich getting richer. I mean, that's just...
on the backs
you
of
talk about
else.
ad hominem... No, on the back of it. They're creating... Rich people create... They're the ones that create the jobs.
All right.
If you took all the money away from rich people, who would have jobs?
Don't care. Got to go to a break. Back in a few moments with these two. They're wonderful. We'll see you very soon.